But I just wanted to say hey.
Alrighty. Testing, testing. Okay, it looks like the microphone is working now. Can everybody hear me? If you can hear me, go ahead and comment that you can hear me. As I said, I thought this whole time that the microphone was working and I've been talking the whole time, answering the question and engaging, but it looks like I was not being heard. So can you guys confirm that I can be heard? So then I'll continue on. If not, I'll try to troubleshoot the mic again. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I apologize for that. I've been talking the whole time thinking that I was being heard, and it turns out I was not being heard. I apologize. So with that being said, I'll go ahead and take this brief second. I'm currently using an Apple iPad for my gameplay. I have an Android tablet, I have an Android phone, and I also have an iPhone. But the only device that I use to play with is the actual Apple iPad. So that's me personally with my own users, MrXsee here. For swapping and trading, it doesn't really matter what the device is. Swapping and trading works. You don't know what device the other user is using, even if they type it in their name. You can type in that you're using an Android device and you can be using an Apple. You can type in that you're using the HTC and you're actually using a Samsung. No one knows what devices are being used across the board. As far as everybody's concerned, all the devices are the same in the game itself. Time for a speed trap. So for trading, the devices and things like that doesn't matter. You can use any old device as long as the device is compatible with CSR, meaning that they can download it, then the game will work with there. For me, the 70th anniversary is worth it if you have a lot of parts. Earlier when I showed the garage and I showed the different parts that I had in there, that was me actually talking and explaining how many fusion parts I had on the car and giving that demonstration there. So it takes a lot of parts in order to upgrade these cars in order to make them functional and make them work. So if you have a lot of fusion parts, then it is worth going and getting the game, getting the cars. If you only have, limited amount of supply of Ferrari parts, then buying the cars is not worth it because you're not going to be able to finish it. I was able to make this purchase because I figured I had enough fusion parts to be able to put onto the car to be able to finish it and get the 10 gold keys. I'm in the United States, so the car cost me $20 US, and the 10 gold keys is worth $10 US. So if you did the single pull, it's $10. So for me, the car went from being $20 to $10 with me having enough parts and being able to finish the races. If you don't have any of the 70th anniversary Ferrari cars and making the purchase and buying them all, it only matters if you have a lot of epic fusion parts and if you have a lot of rare fusion parts. As you can see, as I was doing the upgrades on the different cars, I started running out of rare fusion parts. So if you don't have the parts to upgrade the cars, you're not going to be able to complete a lot of these challenges, and it's not going to make it viable for you buying the cars, because part of the benefit of these trials is to collect all the free stuff that you get with it. That makes the value of the car go down from the initial value that you purchase it. So picking up, 6 epic fusion parts or 10 epic fusion parts, there's no value for epic fusions in the game. But picking up 500,000 cash, or picking up 20 silver keys, or 10 gold keys, or even 100 bronze keys, there's dollar values associated with that. Same thing with the gold coins. So since there's dollar values associated with this, you kind of get your money back with all the extra things that you get. One time when I looked before, it was roughly $85 estimated for the perks that you got in the different races. If you was to buy those individual, the gold coins and the different keys, if you was to buy that individually, that'd be the rough estimated in-game cost. So you pay $20, you get a car, and not only do you get a car, you get extra things with it. So the $20 is based on what you have in your inventory. They don't give you enough inventory from winning the races to be able to win any more additional races. The fusions, you might get a total out of the 30 races on the different ones. And this is not just with the 70th anniversary. It's been with all of the different things that they have. You might get anywhere from 6 to 15 fusions. And that's including epic, rare, and uncommon for those 30 races. So if you get 15 fusions, that's not enough when a car takes 128 fusions. Or in this case, the purple star takes 135 fusions. So that's something to consider whenever you make purchases with the game. A lot of people like to associate value, on different scales. And to me, that's my scale of associating value. What is it that I get out of it that I'm able to have a tangible cost associated with it? And when I look at the gold coins, when I look at the different keys and the cash that I get out of it, that has an in value gain. So to me, it makes it worth it if you can complete it. The big one that adds into there is going to be the 10 gold keys. Because everybody likes to get the gold keys because they're very expensive to purchase. And the 10 gold keys get you the opportunity to get anywhere from a tier 2, which is 3 stars for the Honda Civic Type R, or for the Ford Raptor, the F-150 Raptor, on up to tier 3, tier 4, and tier 5 cars. And because the gold keys unlock 3-star to 5 stars. So look at your own personal situation and decide if that's going to be a value that's worth it to you or not. If you got 600 plus fusions in your inventory, then by all means, go for it. If you don't have enough fusions to load up the cars, And not only having the fusions in your inventory, you got to have cash to put those fusions on. To put an epic fusion on costs 28,000, and I believe it's 9,500 to put an uncommon on. So that's money that you have to spend as well. So speed trap, 110 miles an hour. Can I do it? You think I can do it? Perfect start. Got that 110. Awesome. Can I do 300 is the key. Oh, I did over 300. Whoop, whoop. Yeah, boy. 318. I did that almost 3 times what it was asking. And that's what you call some awesomeness. So one thing I also said is that since there's 100 races in here, I'm probably not going to be able to knock out all these races. So I'm going to cut this short at some point, and then I'll fire it up tomorrow and finish it with another live stream. And you're hilarious, Anonymous Gang. You're not absent or late. You're right on time because you're at your time. Now, one thing I'm doing here, in case anybody is questioning it, I like to get as many points as I can because at the end of the day, the game is all about getting points. And when I do the daily battle, I'll get roughly 292 points if I was to take that car into the daily battle. So I don't want 292 points. I'd rather get 314. So for me to get to 314, I jump into my Chiron Red. And what's special about my Chiron Red is that if you take a look in the top, that's another bug in the game here I noticed. You're not able to click on those little different icons that show up different time to time. Nope, we're not going to be doing any upgrades or making any purchases or any offers. I currently have more than enough inventory there. But what makes this special is I got the crew bonus of 20%. I have the rare car of 18%, elite bonus of 10%, and freshness of 10%. So that gives me a grand total of 58% on this car. And I got the wild card running right now, so I get another 30%. So when I do the daily battle now, I'm going to get 314 plus the 30% additional on there. So this is actually going to put me closer to 382, I believe. We did have a new racing map that is just for the Ferrari events. So Anonymous Gang, I just completed the GTC4 Lusso, and now I'm working on doing the event trying to catch the Aperta. And we're going to do the MTS, the M4 GTS. See if I can get this. And like I said, it should be 382 RP that I get at the 30%. Alright, ran a 10.9. I won because I'm awesome. And 382 just as I expected it to be. 382, but the 269 plus 45 puts me at 314 RP. So instead of getting 292, I get 314 for doing a daily battle by taking this car into the daily battle races. A 2-mile track sounds nice, but it just makes it longer. And everybody wants to get the races done and move on. So a longer race is not what many people will want to do. Honestly, I think a lot of people would love to take their tier 5 cars and do a 1/4 mile race instead of a 1/2 mile race, because they would prefer to do 4-second races instead of 7-second races. I will be using gold coins to remove fusion parts as I need to. That's one of the things I was saying earlier. If I needed to remove fusions off of some of my tier 4 on the Ferrari 30 that I have, then that's what I was going to do so that I can be able to complete the races. Fortunately, I did not have to actually do that. So I still have all my gold coins there. So now we're in the GTC4 Lusso again. But yeah, a 2-mile track could be fun for a couple races. But when you go from that race, typically anywhere from 7.3 seconds on up to 12 seconds for a 1/2 mile, start looking at 30 seconds for a 2-mile race, not too many people are going to actually be over there racing with you. But as I said, a lot of people, especially the swappers, they want those shorter tracks and they want the fastest races possible to do swapping. So they're not going to want to meet you in a 2-mile track. But imagine a 2-mile race with a tier 1 car. Think about that. And think about this even more. A restriction 2-mile race with a tier 1 car. So that makes you, give you a little food for thought, because a tier 1 race with restriction can be as slow as 24 seconds in a half mile. So imagine that, in a quarter mile. So imagine that times 8. Yep, the F40 is a rare car. That's the same thing with the Spider. The Spider ends really quick, and as well as this GTC4, it ends really quick. It doesn't start off entirely slow, but it definitely finishes faster. The 918 Spider has a very fast finish. I have mine maxed out, and it flies down the runway against other people. So we're up to race number 9 now. Or is this race number 10? That's one of the things I wish they would fix and make consistent. The next race button is very inconsistent. On the races for like the trials, it shows you your current race. But on the cups, it shows you the next race number. So if you're doing a trial, it'd be 1 of 3. You just completed 1, it'd be 1 of 3. And then 2 of 3, and then 3 of 3. But if you're dealing with the cups, it always shows you the next race that you're about to go complete. So if you just completed race number 4, it'll show you 5 of 15, or 5 of 30, or 5 of 25. So I wish they would add some consistency with that, the next race button, so it's the same across all of them. 0 to 100 again. Did I win? Did I win? I thought I might have been able to get to 100 without having to shift, but it stopped at 97. Winner! Oh, Jeff didn't even finish. Why don't Jeff do 100 miles an hour? They need to put somebody else in there. Nah, I don't think they'll be unbeatable on a 2-mile track. Because one thing you have to keep in mind, and I tell this to people all the time, it's not about how fast you finish a race with speed. It's about how fast you finish the track with time. It doesn't matter if you go 500 miles an hour. If it takes you 10 seconds, I can do 200 miles an hour and it takes me 8 seconds. So that's something you have to think about. It's about the fastest to get to the end, not the fastest that goes the fastest miles per hour or kilometers per hour. For all my non-American users out there, they like to talk in the metric scale. So kilometers per hour. Anybody else got questions out there? Anything that you guys want to see? Also, whenever you guys get a chance, take a look at the new rain video that I put up. One of the things Natural Motion did with this new update of the 1.16, they gave us a new rain track. The track is exactly the same, but they added in more visuals on it. It looks kind of like you're actually racing on rain, like you're through the mirrors, through the windows driving the car, versus actually looking through the camera. So I thought that was some cool little ultra graphics that they added in there. If you take a look at the video, I just posted it before I started to stream, so you should be able to see it now. And like I said, when you take a look through there, you get to see it, and it has rain, and it looks like literally like you're looking through a rain-drenched windshield, and you need to wipe off the wipers. Yep, the 1.16 update. That's the current version that I'm running here, and that's the version that has all of the new Ferraris, which is the GTC4 Lusso and the LaFerrari Aperta. Well, you can only request a refund within a time period. So if you buy it and you're not able to determine because you have several days in order to complete it, that's a gamble that you take. That's a personal choice. I can't advise you to do or not to do that. I thought it'd be kind of cool that we can get maybe a view of us driving straight instead of watching the side view there that we get now, which is more like a camera view that follows the car, but we can get a view as if we're behind the steering wheel. I think that'd be a cool little view. Press a little button and go boop. And then boom, now you're in the driver's seat racing down the highway. Okay, so if it's 90 days to request a refund, that's a chance that you can take on there. Go for it. You know, if you think it'll work for you, then try it. And if you don't finish it, complain about it and see if you can get your money back. That's a total optional choice there. The only thing I personally don't know is if you make the request, do they take the car back from you? That's the only thing that I would say factor in there. And if you're A-okay with losing the car, if they take the car from you because you didn't complete it, then by all means, go for it. Do what you personally feel would be best for your situation. Nope. If you actually, I'll show you on the next screen how it actually looks. It's not like the Fate of the Furious. Someone had asked the devs on the call, if you're not following the YouTube channel that they have, look up CSR Racing on YouTube. You can follow them and watch their old developer calls. Someone had asked them, was it going to be like the Fate of the Furious where you do relay races? And relay races is not a part of this. What they did differently is they stacked the races for you. So race 1 through 20 is going to be with the GTC4 Lusso. Then race number 21 to 40 is going to be with the green GTB on the green, so the 70th anniversary 488 Spider, the green one. And then the California 30 is going to be race 41 to 60. And then 61 is going to be the red GTB. And then the last one is going to be with the Ferrari F12 Berlinetta. So there are stacked races, not relay races that's involved with there. Yeah, so there you go. They're going to remove all the progresses depending upon what type of progress you was able to get with the car with the refund and things like that. So that's something to consider. If you're someone who generates a lot of RP for your crew and they take all the progress away from you, if they're able to dissect it out and say, oh, this progress is associated with the car, this progress is not associated with the car, then, you know, by all means, take that chance. You're more than welcome to try it. I've never done it before, so I have no concrete answers on it, on how it works. But that's something you can ask support. If you're not familiar with how to ask support questions, I'll show you how you can ask questions to support. And this is something I encourage everybody to do because it's worth knowing how to contact support and how to get answers to questions, as well as to be able to report issues that you're having with the game. So inside of the game, you pop out the little arrow that's over here on the left. By default, it always shows you your crew chat, or it's going to show you your goals if you last had open your goals. So like right now, my goal shows regulation race, upgrade so many parts, and live race. But what you want to do is click on the little settings icon at the top. Now that's highlighted. So now you scroll up to where it says support and you click on that. Now one of the cool things about support, they have announcements anytime they make announcements. They also have hot topics, so anytime anything that's really going on with the game, you can scroll through and see if it's in a hot topic. But for a question like you have about the reporting to the game and things like that, you can click to contact us, and you can make a complaint to them here. Just simply type on a little box, type up your message, explain whatever you want, include any screenshots that you want, hit the send button, support to get it, and you might get an answer. You might like the answer, you might not like the answer, depending upon how it goes on. But wow, that guy capped out already. Woohoo, I made it into the top 10. Alrighty, so back on to the races. But yeah, I encourage everybody to know where the support information is and to utilize it. It's definitely very helpful to have the support information there. I don't know how hard the 100 races is. That's the whole purpose of me live streaming this now. We all get to experience it together. I probably will make it through 40 races and then I'll cut it off and then pick it back up. Nope, you do not have to have the car maxed. I completed this race here for the Lusso, the GT4, the GTC4 Lusso, with 88 fusions on it and 39 upgrades on it. All of the upgrades I got for free. I have not made any purchases for this car outside of buying the car itself for $20 US. After I purchased the $20 US, all 88 fusions that I have was in my inventory, and the 39 upgrades I received from pulling in the free crates. So the free crates is, you're familiar with. 19 hours I get this one here free, and in 14 hours I get this one here free. I got 4 more pulls, and then I'll be able to get a loyalty reward off of the one that's in 19 hours. That's specifically for the GTC4. The other one I assume is for all of the 70th anniversary cars. I'm not for sure. This morning I pulled a GTC4 Stage 6 part out of it, so I was able to use that. Okay, so the California races are the 3rd set of races. So actually, I'm going to race until I get to the California races. Then I'm going to stop the stream for today. And then tomorrow I'll pick it up and I'll do the California races on out. And we'll look at completing all races and getting the LaFerrari Aperta. Yep, typically the GTC 40 races, those are the individual races. They typically are a lot harder for just the individual car. So the same thing I imagine with the Aperta. I imagine that the LaFerrari Aperta event will be much harder than what it'll take to complete all the other ones. The only thing I don't want to miss out on, which I probably will miss out on, is a free day. If I finish out the event today and get the Aperta, then when it opens up, if they have a free crate, I'll be able to pull the free crate. If you don't have the car, you're not able to pull the free crate. So that's something to think about. Do I want to finish it on out today? Needs to be near maxed. When you say near max, what exactly does near max mean? I hear everybody always talk about max, and no one really describes what near max means. So can you elaborate what near max means? Well, for me to finish it, it's going to take a lot of time. I don't know if I have the time today. I have other things that I do as well. So I don't believe I'm going to have enough time to finish it out today. That's why I want to cap it off and then start back up tomorrow. But this is what my California looks like, the California T. I'm going to jump back into the garage, so spend a little bit extra time. So see, that's what near max is, not what you described there. So I have 39 and 42 and I have 63 and 98. So based off of your description, I may have the capability of winning it. But this here car is closer to near max. Oh no, it has all upgrades on it, but it's not closer to near max. The green one is. So this one has 114 out of 135 fusions on it. Maxed for a car is going to look like this. Where is it at? There we go. So this is what a maxed out car looks like. When your car is maxed out, oh no, I didn't max this one out. I thought I did. Which car did I not max out? No, oh, it's the Subaru. I saved my Lamborghini parts. It's this one. This is maxed out. 135 fusions is maxed out for this car. Maxed out means that however many numbers is after the slash, both of those numbers are equal. That means every single fusion is filled in, which means every single upgrade is on the car. So many people say maxed out and they're only talking about upgrade to stage 5, or they're talking about having enough fusions on something. This is a fully maxed out car. It has every single fusion slot filled into it, which means every single upgrade is on the car. So when next time you say maxed out, consider the ideal of what maxed out truly is. And remember that maxed out does not mean kinda. Nearly maxed out means that you got all your upgrades on there and you're missing 5 or 6 or 7 fusions. Because a lot of people talk about a maxed out car and they're only talking about stage 5 upgrades. They're not even talking about the fusions on there. Maxed out means there's nothing else you can add to a car. It's maxed. So all the fusions are included on the car. Alright, so the Fiener Super Sport. What about the Spider? Which Spider? Oh, the Porsche 918 Spider? Yeah, that's maxed out. Yep. At some point, I'm going to do a video with my maxed out cars. I'm going to do a video for each of the individual maxed out cars instead of doing one big jumbo video, because I can run across different cars that I can max out, and then when I get future cars that I max out, it'll be the same scenario. So I think I'm going to do a video for each of the individual cars that I have maxed out, which is kind of ironic. I have one car that was maxed out, but I stripped parts off of it so I can complete another race in another car that was in the same manufacturer. So now that car is no longer maxed out. Just bananas. I'm not even going to need to hit Nas for this one. Look at that. Messed it all up. Shipped all the way up to third gear. Just wanted to be goofy. Alrighty, time to change cars. This is race number 20. 20 out of 100. Let's jump back to the map. And now we're going to change to the 48 Spider 70th anniversary. Go race. So I guess Natural Motion decided that they wanted to force all the racers to have to buy the GTC4 Lusso before being able to complete anything, because now it looks like we're going in the order of what the cars came out. So they're like, oh, we're not going to let them race all the other races until they get that. We're going to make them get everything all together. That's my assumption, with them picking the last car that you can buy and making that go first, instead of picking the first car that you can buy. Just like that, easy race. So after I get done with this, once I get to race number 40 and complete that race, I'm going to go ahead and start cutting the stream on off. I give a quick demo of a couple cars in the garage if anybody wants to see that. Just say they want the demo. If you guys don't want to see it, then I'll go ahead and let you guys know that the stream will be ending at that point. So let me know what you guys want to do. It's all up to you. You're my viewing audience, and I want to keep you guys smiling and feeling good and keep the questions coming. So if I can give you what you want, that's what I want to do. Guess I'm not going to get any perfect starts in this car. So far, I'm 0 for 2. Also, I'm going to create a video for the Milestone 1. Since this season, we completed the 30th Milestone 1 being available. So I'm going to create a video, and I'm going to break it up. And each garage that I have a Milestone 1 cars, I'm going to do one video with that together. That way it's not a 45-minute video of looking at cars. So the first 6 are going to go in one video. And then the next 6 are going to go into a second video. And it's going to be a total of 5 videos. So you can look at either one of them that you want. Oops, I bought 20 gold pips. Jeez, I didn't mean to buy 20 gold pips. That means I got to do extra races. I've been playing the game for a long time. Well over a year. Closer to 2 years, it feels like. When it launched here in the United States, I read an article talking about it, and I went on and picked it up because of that. And I've been playing it ever since. This is the only game that I play. I'm not a hardcore gamer, so I don't have 15 or 20 different things that I do. I don't multitask. I do share my account with someone else, and they like to play other games. So if you was able to catch the live stream, the GTC4 Lusso, I got a stage 6 for that, the engine. Not for sure if I need that or not. I think I actually have that. So if you caught the live stream a couple weeks ago, we was testing a new setup with that on the computer. And we're going to look at doing some more. Got some more testing I got to do to try to make things better. One of the things I learned is that playing certain games, you got to turn the music off. Otherwise, you get copyright infractions. And I want to continue making games with you guys and interacting with you, so copyright violations are not good. So I got to figure out how to get the music turned off for those particular games and still be able to get music into you guys and be able to entertain Q&A. So if you like Forza Horizon 3, Call Call of Duty World War II, and I believe GTA. If you like those games, then definitely you're going to see from time to time that gameplay as well. Whenever they have time, they get it set up and they get to playing. That was just a quick demo that we did. I wasn't overly impressed with how it worked out. So, got to tinker around with it some more and figure it out. So I got one person who wants to see the demo. Is there anybody else that want to see the demo? I got a couple of users that are watching, it says, but not many people are talking. I know a lot of people like to just sit back and watch. 0 to 100. Man, I was hoping I could have got second gear in. Uh-oh. There we go. I said, wait a minute. Why is it not presenting back to the next screen? They're like the camera person forgot what they was doing. So also, this is the end of the season for everyone. Hopefully everybody's crew is doing well out there, that you guys was able to accumulate the necessary 20 million points. Currently me, sitting there with 1,906,000. This is where my crew sits. We're currently at 1,796 in the world with 21,395,000. We dropped off a couple racers who did not want to meet the 500,000 minimum for being in the crew. So that's the key to the game. If you want to be in a crew that earns the car every single season, you have to meet the crew minimums if they have any. And I highly encourage users, always check the comments in the description section for links to the game if you haven't played the game before. But I often encourage people, if you enjoy the game, play it. You start off making low amount of points when you first start out playing it. But as you work your way through the game, you start to accumulate more points. And it starts to become easier to get more points. And people can tell if you're playing or not. If, you know, for example, if you do your daily races, you can get as little as 132 points per race on up to 247 points per race. So if you do 10 of those races, you get 2,470. As much as that, and 10 of those are 1,320. So you accumulate something, and that's just the free stuff. We're just doing like regulations and things like that. But people can tell if you're playing by seeing your numbers go up. If you're not going up anything at all, people will notice that, and people will not want you to stay on their crew. And everybody's crew is different. At the end of the day, I like my crew to just get the 20 million and get the free car and keep moving. I don't like to pressure people to get certain amounts, you know, 1 million, 5 million, 3 million points. But I like people to understand that we want everybody to contribute towards getting that 20 million. I don't want, you know, to have members in the crew that get 5 million points each and everybody else is getting, you know, 50,000. It's not fun for the people that's getting 5 million to put in the work for the people that's getting 50,000, and they have the same amount of time to play the game as you do. I understand everybody plays a different amount. You know, 500,000 is not a lot of points over a season if you're actively playing the game. What made you delete the game, Anonymous? And joining my crew means that you're going to have to get 500,000 points in order to stay in the crew. If you know you're going to get 150,000 or you're going to get 200,000 or you're going to get 30,000, joining a crew just means you're in a crew just to get kicked out. I'm not looking to kick anyone out. I don't like recruiting. I'd rather everybody come into the crew and stay. So everybody meets the 500,000 points for the season. You know, I had no problem with giving people a chance, but I'm not a fan of recruiting and getting more people to come into the crew again because people didn't meet up what they wanted to do. So if you feel like you can do 500,000 in a season, then by all means, request to join Midnight Kings. But if you feel like you can't make 500,000, then don't worry about it. Yeah, your current crew is 400,000, but can you meet the minimum? That's the key. Can you meet the minimum requirements of what the crew requests? So, have you wrote them back and asked them about the status update? Provide them the information again. Be like, hey, here's my information. When can my account get transferred over? I'm waiting to play the game. The Hyra Roadster looks pretty nice in gold. My Hyra Roadster is the burgundy color one. That gold color looks pretty nice. Hey, keep pestering them, Anonymous. Write them every 2 or 3 days. You're like, is it fixed now? Is it fixed now? Is it fixed now? How about now? So why do you want to leave a crew that gets the milestone car to go to another crew that gets the milestone car? Right, they say it is down, but that's why I say keep writing them and ask them every couple of days, is it back up yet? I'll be asking them every 2 or 3 days. Look, man, it's been 3 seasons now, and I still haven't been able to join my crew and contribute. You want to help me out with what? All we want to do is get 20 million. We make that every season. 30 consecutive seasons. But many in my crew, I joined the crew over a year ago, and many of them was there when I came. So 15 to 20 of them have all been there for over a year. Huh, so you got 2 accounts that make 800,000, but if you have both of them in the same crew, that means the same crew gets both the points, and both the crew gets extra benefit from that. I see people in my global chat always soliciting for their second accounts, getting their second accounts added into other crews. And I'm like, well, why don't you go into the original crew? And I always find it interesting how crews have a minimum of 1.5 million, 2 million to be in there. And it's like, well, why don't you let people who have smaller accounts or new accounts go into the crew that you're currently in, because you don't change much different. You know, you go from rank 210 to 200 or 350. Your prize doesn't change. 488 Spider. I wonder which one is for. Is that for the original one? I hope it's not for the original one. I already have that one fully upgraded with upgrades. I just need more. Yep, so I got duplicate parts. So they gave me another engine. Oops, didn't want to go to the tune screen. Favorite YouTuber? I'm not a YouTuber. I make YouTube videos, but I'm not one of those guys. Those guys are awesome. They have like thousands of subscribers and people, you know, their little chat is all listed up and there's a whole bunch of them on there. Me, it takes 30, 40 minutes to get people to come in and engaged. Be nice if I was a favorite YouTuber to somebody. Let's see, was that the 48? No, that was the 70th anniversary one, okay. Yeah, they like to give me all kind of duplicate parts all the time. They not my friends. So far I got 43 Ferrari parts, and most of them are uncommons. Look at all that. All those uncommons. I need more rares and epics. Need more rares. I don't need more doors. I got 23 doors or bodies for the rares, but I only got one epic. I feel cheated. They should let me sell some of those parts. Let me sell 10 uncommons to get one epic. That'd be a cool feature. Why to bombard the devs on their call and tell them that. Alright, so race 1 is complete. We're going to change car. Jump into the 488 Spider. Me what? Gotta do to 150. Can I do it? Got a perfect start. I think I can do it. Oh, I got to 150. Yay! Let's see what I picked up. 55 gold coins. Woohoo! So how's the font on the chat that's currently going? Is it a reasonable size that you can see it on your mobile device, or is it still too small? I increased the font size because I had received feedback that it was too small to see. Sarah in the Gold GT. Sarah always drives the Ford GT. Alrighty, so yeah, I'm gonna work on wrapping these races on up, so we're gonna get through it pretty quickly. I'm gonna take a break. I might come back later on and do the stream and do the rest of the races, but I got a couple other things I do. Plus, I need to knock out my live races. And I still got this little funky wild card running, so I need to use at least some of the wild card. How much more time I got left on the wild card? Won't let me click and see. Alrighty, GT3R, the Continental. Good start. I think I can win all these races without even firing off the knives. Alright, so if it's okay, then I'll leave it at that. I didn't know if I needed to make it bigger or not. Collect up some cash. So is anybody going to be up in 2 hours from now? 2 hours. That little blue color on the Turbo S looks kind of wicked. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing the live stream again in 2 hours and finishing out these Ferrari races. Just thinking about it, haven't decided yet. It's not the LaFerrari that you would get, it's the LaFerrari Aperta. You have to make sure you say the Aperta, because the Aperta is a different vehicle. We got 2 different stage 6s for it. Alright, so you guys think I should reschedule out once I get done with this race here and do the last 60 races with you guys? Is that what I'm hearing? I got a couple people watching the stream. Yep, so far the races seem relatively easy. I haven't got to the one that Harambe had earlier said was harder, so I can't comment on those. But with it being a tier 3, I think it's a tier 3. It's either tier 3 or tier 4. But the California is a less fusion-based vehicle. So if it is harder, it should still be relatively in your inventory. But take a look at your inventory and see what type of supplies you have, because you're definitely going to need some stage 6s. You don't need a whole lot, but you're going to need some. And you're definitely going to need to have some fusions. And one of the cool things about fusions is, if you got a ton of gold, you know, over time I've accumulated all this gold that I have. But if I need to, since they're not relay races, I can actually take gold and strip off parts. So like I'm done with the GTC4 Lusso now. If I need parts, I can go to that car, strip off the rare, strip off the uncommon fusions, and even the epics that I put on there, a couple of them. And I can put them on another car because I'm not going to need that car in its races any longer. So that's something to think about as well for you, based on your cars. So think about that. Like I said, if you got gold, then by all means, take the opportunity. If you have parts, so you can technically get away with probably 200 fusion parts and just have to mix and match the parts across the different cars. But it can get expensive taking off, because I think it's 150 for tier 5 epic to remove. So removing 10 epics is 1,500 gold coins. So it can get very pricey as you go up the line with removing and adding and removing and re-adding. It always costs gold to do, but you know, that's advice that you can use as well if that's what you're interested in doing. I'm not the biggest fan of removing parts off of cars, so that's why I always have no problem with dropping uncommons on cars. I'm a little bit more picky with putting my rares on cars. And after the rares, then epics, I'm extremely picky because it takes a whole lot of gold to take off the epics. You have 100 fusion parts total in your whole inventory for Ferrari, or you have just with the little icon. Coming up on race number 40, so I'm going to be ending the live stream. But like I said, based on the feedback from YouTube, I just will schedule up another one in a little bit less than 2 hours. And I'll jump back on and do some more with you guys and work on finishing it out. If you only have 100 total, each of these cars takes 135 total. You don't need 135, but it's helpful to have 135. So what you have in 100 fusion parts, how many of those are epic? The red ones. And by the way, this is my last race. This is race number 40. And this should cause me to change out of this car. And 41 should be into the California. Perfect start. Perfect shifts. Nope, I missed that one. Got it back. Nope, the California T is unknown. That is my very next race. I'm going to go ahead and do that later. No, I'm not going to do the California 30 yet. I'm going to keep them all segmented together. When I come back later, I will do the California T. Just want to confirm that the California T is there. That the race I have to do? Yep. See on the bottom it says the 2 races have the green checks. Race 1, race 21. So next up is the change car option. Alright, so I'm done with that. Done with that. Change car for the Crew Cup. Civic Type R. Nope, not doing that. I'll do that one race later on. I'm going to keep these videos all segmented together. I'm actually going to retitle this one. Okay, there we go. 1,931,000. 21,404,000. 23 more minutes left of the wild card. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump on off the live stream. What is it doing? It won't let me click on the garage. How weird. I guess that's a bug now. So that being said, I'm going to wrap up the live races. Or not the red live race, but I'm going to wrap up the California, the Ferrari 70th anniversary races for now. There we go. Now the button works. So now the home button works. So some of these buttons don't work until you do something to stir them. I'm going to wrap it on up with this. Next up is the California 30 races. I currently have 39 of 42 upgrades and 63 of 98 fusion parts on it. And with that being said, we're going to drop off the live stream. And I'll see you guys back in 2 hours. I'm going to post up the info for the live stream, so I'm going to schedule it on up in just a few minutes so you'll be able to see what time it starts. But for now, thanks for tuning in. This is MrXsee. See you in a couple hours when we do the next 60 races for the 70th anniversary races. Thanks. Talk to you later. Goodbye.